Now we're going to see how we can use jQuery to change website content in the same way that we changed the website content with plain JavaScript last time round. So I'm going to keep my circle, but get rid of my squares. And I'm going to add a paragraph of text. There we go. Okay, so very simply now I'm going to change the content of the text when I click on the green circle. So can you update the code there to change it from selecting a div to changing it to selecting the circle ID? Did you manage it? Very simple. Simply change it from div there to hash for an ID and then the ID name, which is circle. Always good to just check that that's up and running. There it is. We've got div clicked. That's fine. So now when the circle is clicked, what we want to do is change the content of the P, the paragraph tag. So another quick challenge for you. Can you select the paragraph tag? Did you manage it? I hope you did something like string P, like that. So that will select all of the paragraph tags on this page. We've only got one, so that's fine. If we had lots of paragraph tags and we only wanted to select one of them, then we'd need to give this paragraph tag an ID or a particular class. So it's very simple with JavaScript to change the content of a paragraph tag. We just use the HTML function. So we've selected the paragraph and we're applying the HTML function, and let's just change it to the text has been changed. Okay, see if that works. Terrific. There we go. So the HTML function is a really useful one in jQuery that allows you to very simply change the content of a particular element. It also allows you to actually get the content of a particular element if you wanted to do that. So if I wanted to alert the text inside this paragraph tag, then all I would do is get rid of the contents of those brackets there, and then this will just return the content of the paragraph tag. So I can very simply alert that. Let's see what that does. So that's taken the content of the paragraph tag and alerted it. And this is a general principle for jQuery functions. If you put some content in the brackets, generally speaking, that will update a particular attribute of an element. But if you leave nothing in the brackets, then it will return the contents or the attribute that you're looking for. So that's a really useful distinction to be aware of, and you can use one function then in two different ways. Let's just quickly see another function that we can use. Instead of click, we can use a function called hover. And we'll go back to changing the HTML. For now, we'll just call it changed. So this is a nice example of how simple jQuery is. Instead of using click, we're now using the hover function. And that means all I need to do is hover over this element and it changes the text. So that hover function is a very useful, quick one if instead of clicking, you want your website to interact with a hover. Right, the last thing I'm going to show you this time round is changing an attribute of a particular element. So let's get an iframe in there. And we'll use the CNN website as the content of our iframe. There it is. I won't bother stretching it out. But what if we wanted to change the src of this iframe tag? Well, again, So I want to start by finding out the source of my iframe element. I know what it is, obviously, but it can be useful to return this bit of information in a script. So I'm going to select the iframe, like that. Again, that would select all of the iframes on the page, which is fine for us because we've only got one. But if you had more than one iframe on a page, then you would want to give your iframe a particular class or ID in order to specify that you want to select that particular iframe. So if I want to get the src attribute of my iframe, I use the attr function. So the attr is short for attribute, and it allows you to return any attribute of an element. So I want to return the src of my element, and let's just alert that for now. So that should alert the src attribute of this iframe when I hover over there. There it is. Fantastic. So we've got the source attribute of the iframe. What if we want to change it? Well, give that a go. See if you can adjust the code so that you're changing the source attribute of the iframe rather than just returning it. Did you manage it? What you needed was to get rid of the alert function, and then you add a second command. And the second command gives or second variable really, gives the new source that you want to apply to this iframe. So I'm going to use my ecowebhosting.co.uk homepage. So that's taken the iframe element, and this time, instead of returning the src attribute, we're actually changing the src attribute to this value of ecowebhosting.co.uk. Let's take a look. So this time I'm going to hover over there, and there we go. So we've changed the src attribute this time, not just returned it.